rather than skis make the jet astute takeoff, beginning a long-range exploratory mission. In less than 1 month, pilots of EX-6 mapped and photographed over 1 million square miles of territory, never before seen by human eyes. Later, Admiral Byrd, Dr. Paul Steichel, and other Antarctic old-timers paid a visit to the site of Little America 1 and 2. They located this radio tower, built during Byrd's 1929 expedition. When first erected, it stood 75 feet above the surface of the snow. On January 4th, 1956, Little America was officially commissioned by Admiral Byrd and Admiral Dufek. The Glacier, after carving out a mooring in Canaan Bay for the cargo ship, was ordered by Admiral Dufek to McMurdo Sound to assist Captain Ketchum. For 10 days, the Edisto and the Coast Guard East Wind attempted to cut a channel through the ice of McMurdo to within a reasonable distance of the base site at Hut Point. During this time, only 14 miles had been gained. The Glacier went to work on the ice. It takes immense power and tons of weight to accomplish the feat of crushing acres of ice, ranging from 10 to 12 feet thick. These scenes, taken from the ice, show you the power of the glacier. An icebreaker, contrary to popular idea, does not break ice by cutting through it, but is so designed that the bow will ride up on the ice, and in a porpoising action, the sheer weight of the ship crushes and cleaves through the ice. In 48 hours, she came within 6 miles of the base and established an offloading point and a turnaround circle. The 30-mile artery through the ice was named Glacier Channel. Since bay ice did not move out into the open sea as anticipated, it was too risky to bring the cargo ships into the channel. Therefore, the 3 icebreakers were required to shuttle supplies from the ships through the channel to the offloading point. Here at Glacier Point, the cargo is unloaded for transfer to the base site. The unloading operation involved a calculated risk. The Glacier's cargo handling equipment, designed for only 12 tons, lowered a 24-ton D8 tractor. The risk paid off. Cargo moved the 6 miles to the camp, loaded in tractor trains. This operation involved many hazards because of the treacherous bay ice. Finally, on January 14th, the first load of building materials and supplies arrived at the base site, and one of the major objectives of Operation Deep Freeze had been accomplished. The indispensable Glacier served not only as a cargo transport, but also as an aircraft carrier. By January 18th, above freezing temperatures had caused ice runways to melt and crack. The aircraft, after receiving their final refueling and maintenance from the Glacier, took off for New Zealand. 450 miles east, near Little America, supplies were shuttled to a temporary cache on bay ice, approximately halfway to the base. The warm weather caused melting and weakening of the ice, until finally the temporary cache was in danger. Admiral Dufek ordered everything transported to the firmer shelf ice on the double. Every available tractor, carry lift, and helicopter was pressed into use. Within 48 hours, all of the cargo had been moved to Little America 5. Only a short time before the bay ice broke up and floated out to sea. In the construction of bases, the Seabees lived up to their can-do reputation. With the building area leveled, foundations were made for the special type buildings which would be the living, operating, and recreational facilities for a long, long winter night. Floors were laid and walls erected. They look thin, but special installation and expert construction make them snow tight. Roofs must be especially strong to support the heavy accumulation of snow throughout the 3 years' occupancy. Tractors cleared the area between the buildings of snow and ice, so a tunnel system could be built. An elaborate tunnel system was built to connect all of the buildings and save as storage spaces. Both here and at McMurdo Sound, 250,000-gallon fuel tanks were constructed to serve as storage for aviation fuel to be used in Operation Deep Freeze 2. When completed, these tanks were filled from the USS Nestle, moored about 4 miles away. The problem of transporting fuel 4 miles was met by using several collapsible fuel hold storage tanks provided by the Marine Corps. This tank, when unrolled and filled, holds 10,000 gallons. Gasoline was pumped to these tanks, and by increasing the pressure at booster stations with auxiliary pumps, was finally brought to the huge fuel tank at Hut Point through portable pipelines. This experimental crevasse detector, designed to give a signal when a crevasse was approached, proved not completely reliable when used by trail parties. The loss of an auger supporting aircraft and the failure of the crevasse detector delayed the Marie Birdland trail expedition. With winter weather setting in, the project was postponed until Deep Freeze 2. To climax the activities of Operation Deep Freeze 1, the Glacier, with Admiral Dufek aboard, made a notable cruise around the Antarctic continent. The purpose of this voyage was to locate suitable sites for more IGY stations to be established in later operations. Survey crews returning from surveying a possible site on the North Coast experienced the sudden fury of an Antarctic blizzard, a vanguard of the fast-approaching polar winter. Their small craft fought through the icy seas to the side of the glacier and was finally hoisted safely aboard. The Glacier's cruise around the continent brought Deep Freeze 1 to a successful conclusion, and she pointed her bow northward, leaving behind 73 men at the Little America base and 93 sailors and scientists at the Naval Air Facility in McMurdo Sound. With the wintering over party were 1,500 tons of supplies and materials to sustain them through the coming year of isolation from the rest of the world. Some of these materials will go into the construction of bases at the South Pole and Marie Birdland before ships return to the Antarctic. At the base of Observatory Hill, men prepared for the bitter cold and the violent winds of the long winter night. And at sea, the glacier plunged northward into warmer, ice-free water. Her destination, the United States, where she would be fitted out for Operation Deep Freeze 2.